7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, Meteorologist Paige Noel here as we are keeping a very close eye on Hurricane Ian that is likely to make landfall in Florida a little bit later today. And then that's obviously going to impact us here in East Tennessee towards the end of the week and into the weekend, bringing rain, winds, clouds, really just kind of gloomy and soggy conditions. Here's kind of a look at that radar and cloud track right now, and then we got a live look. I think it's down a little bit closer to about Naples, Florida area. You can see just how windy, and these are just the outer bands as the eye has not made landfall yet. So the outer bands is what's affecting Florida right now. Let's go ahead and get into our graphics here, and we are going to kind of track this out for Florida and track this out for us here in East Tennessee as well. So here's a loop over the past about 3 hours here. You can see those outer bands really just hitting the Fort Myers area. Again, this is kind of that western, southern, western coast of Florida here, really near Fort Myers. It is a Category 4 hurricane. It's a very strong Category 4 hurricane as well. You see winds at 155 miles per hour, gust up to 190 miles per hour. Technically, to be a Category 5 hurricane, you have to have winds at 157 miles per hour. So yes, it is technically a Category 4, but it is a very strong Category 4 hurricane. It's just 60 miles west of Naples, Florida right now, at least the eye is. And here are kind of the latest warnings that we have right now. You see that hurricane warning basically from Tampa almost all the way down to that southern tip, while the rest of the coast of Florida is in that tropical storm warning. So all of Florida is really going to be impacted by this. It's kind of where does the eye make landfall as we head into the next couple of hours. Here is a look at that kind of future rainfall. This includes a lot of the coast here, and it goes all the way up to us here in Knoxville. So getting in areas like Jacksonville could be getting up to 10 inches. Orlando closer to almost 7 inches, more than 7. Tampa, even Atlanta getting about 1 to 2 inches. Charleston, you guys could get closer to about 4 to 5 inches. And then us here in Knoxville, we could be tracking anywhere from about 1, 2 to potentially up to 3 inches into some spots over a couple days as we track out this rain, really starting Friday and then throughout the weekend. So here's kind of a look at that track. Here's Hurricane Ian right now. It is more than likely making landfall as a Category 4 hurricane sometime potentially this afternoon and evening. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated about that through the WVLT First Alert Weather app, on air, online, all the good stuff here. So likely making landfall a little bit later this afternoon as a very strong Category 4 hurricane that's going to continue to kind of impact their Daytona Beach to Jacksonville, and then up into the Carolinas, and you see that area of low pressure just to the east of us here in Knoxville. And that's what's going to bring us some wind, some rain, some clouds as we head towards the end of the week and into the weekend, mostly as we head kind of Saturday into Sunday. I think later Friday, almost all day Saturday is when we're going to get the most of that rain here in East Tennessee. All right, let's get into these gusts tomorrow. This is when we're really going to start to kind of see the difference here. Winds are gusting up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's a beautiful day. It's just going to be breezy for us here in East Tennessee, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of those mountaintops, those gusts over the next couple of days start to get up to potentially 30 to 40 miles per hour. Again, up at those kind of higher elevations, especially a little bit more towards the east where that area of low pressure is going to be a little bit closer to you guys versus kind of the valley, and then of course as you head over there towards the plateau in parts of southeastern Kentucky. But you'll notice we're really going to see those wind gusts throughout the day. Even by 5 o'clock, winds still gusting up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour, and then that's going to continue throughout your Thursday evening and then overnight Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So we're really going to start to see the effects here in East Tennessee tomorrow. But it is still a gorgeous day. You'll want to get out and try to enjoy Thursday, just because it is going to be very gloomy heading towards the end of the week. So really we're just seeing the clouds arrive here in East Tennessee on Friday, and then by the time we get into Saturday and Sunday, that's really when we're going to start to see more of that rain. So it's really overnight Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we're really just dealing, or at least starting to see most of it push out of here. But you see that 80% coverage on Saturday. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that go up potentially. We're still obviously keeping an eye on the timing just because it can change as we head into the next couple days. We still got several days. It is Wednesday, so we're talking about Friday, mostly Friday night into Saturday, when we start to see those soggier conditions really return here. So let's get into your First Alert Futurecast. So Thursday, sunny, gorgeous. just a little bit breezy. Then as we get into Friday, so when the clouds are going to start to move in. Starting out there with some sunshine and a few clouds here and there, but you could see if you're towards the plateau, you guys could be pretty sunny for a majority of the day, while if you're in our far eastern counties, even up towards the Tri-Cities, they're already starting to deal with those clouds there early on a Friday. So here's kind of an hour by hour look at it. There's those clouds starting to kind of thicken up and move in by those afternoon hours. I do think we would be looking at really a mostly cloudy view there by 3-4 o'clock there into those afternoon hours, but you can see those bands are still slowly pushing to areas like Cumberland, so you guys could be really mostly sunny throughout the day, just depending on those clouds and kind of depending on where you are here in East Tennessee. But if you are mostly east of like 75 there, if you're east of Knoxville, I would say you guys could be dealing with those mostly cloudy views throughout the majority of the day. Here's those rain showers pushing in 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Friday night football fans, keep this in mind. It's going to be pretty soggy, so I would have the ponchos, the rain gear, if you are going to be headed out to some Friday night football. It might start out dry depending on where you are, but if you're, again, kind of foothills towards the mountains, far eastern counties, is by 9:30, and even into Knoxville too. So as maybe it's starting out dry, those games, but they're could be ending pretty soggy. That's just something to keep in mind. And then all of us are really getting in on that rain as we head into those overnight hours. So you could be hearing rain, and I do think we're mostly just dealing with rain. I do think the lightning, thunder threat is going to be on that lower end for sure. So here's a look at 5:30 in the morning. So starting out super gloomy, super soggy for a lot of you. See those kind of yellows and those darker greens popping up. It's just really a steady rain as we head throughout the day. 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's going to be one of those mornings where you're just going to want to stay in bed. Even by 1 o'clock, it could be starting to lighten up a little bit as we head into the afternoon hours, but honestly, we're really just continuing to deal with those soggy conditions here, and we're going to continue to see those throughout the night Saturday and then into Sunday as well. Look at that rainfall over the next 7 days. You can see the heaviest, of course, down towards Florida, and then mainly to the east of us here in Knoxville. Of course, we're continuing to watch this track here on if it's going to push a little bit more west. I don't think it will. If it moves, I think it might move a little bit more east there. I think we're right there on that line. I highly doubt we see that area of low pressure move more towards our area, but of course we are all definitely going to be impacted by that rain here. So you can kind of see about 1/2 inch to 1 inch for areas on the plateaus. So Cumberland County to Morgan County, Fentress, Scott, you guys a little bit closer to about that 1 inch mark. And then we're getting about 1 inch to 2 inches for Knoxville to Blount to Sevier. And then especially if you are Hamblin County, Cocke, Greene County, Jefferson County, you guys are a little bit closer to that 2 mark. Isolated spots of 3, potentially up towards those mountaintops for sure. And of course you can see right there over the border, they're closer to about that 3, 4, maybe 5 inches there over towards North Carolina. So like I said, we have to keep an eye on that if that shifts a little bit more towards the west. Right now I don't see that happening, but it is something to keep an eye on. This, of course, if you guys know this, hurricane tracks do change a lot. So, and we have a couple days to keep an eye on this, and of course we will continue to keep an eye on this really over the next several days. Here's something you probably didn't think of. We're really going to feel the difference here as well. We got that low pressure moving into our region. We're going to start to feel it. You can see the pain. We're going to get a little bit more achy. My knees are going to be hurting towards the end of the week, and especially by the weekend. So Saturday morning through about Sunday night with that low pressure kind of right in our area, you're definitely going to feel it out there. That's something to keep in mind. Maybe more Advil, Tylenol, whatever you take to help your joints. My knees always hurt when it starts to rain. So definitely going to be feeling the effects of that for sure. I'm going to take you guys back here to the track again, or the latest track right now. We will get an update from the National Hurricane Center, I think at 11. So we will put that on our social medias as well. I'm going to pull up Facebook here. I want to see if you guys have any questions I do want to bring you back. Check this out. You can just see how windy it is down into Florida. And this isn't, like I said, this isn't even the eye that has made landfall yet. These are all the outer bands bringing lots of rain. Storm surge is a really big concern down there, of course. They can see storm surge up to 5 to 10 inches, which is obviously a whole lot of rain here. But I'm bringing up the Facebook page to see if you guys have any questions about Hurricane Ian, either for Florida or for us here at home. Let's see. Everyone's saying prayers for everyone. Yeah, it is a scary situation. I know a lot. I don't know about you guys, but we have family, or a lot of people have family down there. We have a lot of people that vacation down there. There's an area down there that my family and I were looking at vacationing, and I just saw that they're potentially going to get hit. So that is a very scary situation down there, and that's why we're going to continue to track it out over the next really couple of days. Let's see here. Jacob Trent says he has family in Florida, and they are in the eye. Is potentially going to go over them, so thinking about them during this time. Prayers for all the people that are down there, of course. Yeah, so just trying to see if you all have any questions. Thank you guys if you do have any questions here, but it is a scary situation for sure. Once again, here's kind of a look at the tropical track right now. It's expected to make landfall. Hurricane Ian is expected to make landfall sometime today, potentially a little bit later this afternoon and evening. And of course at 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, Ben and myself will have the latest update. Heather's going to have that latest track too at noon. Like I said, we're supposed to get an update potentially at 11. So if this does get to a category 5, I'm not going to jinx it. Right now it's still a very strong category 4. I think it's going to stay that way. It's at least forecast to stay that way, but it is very close to a category 5. So we'll have more information from the National Hurricane Center at 11. That means Heather's going to have that latest information there at noon on WVLT News. And of course, we are going to continue to send alerts straight to your phone, on air, online as we head into the next several days. And for us here in East Tennessee, really tracking that rain closely and how much we're going to get and those winds by the time we get to your Friday night and then throughout the weekend. So hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the beautiful weather while we have it right now, and we will see you at noon.